This is the second take. Hello YouTube viewer, it has been a hot minute since I posted on YouTube. The last time I posted here, not counting streams, was 2020. I am back and better than ever. Today I'm here to announce and kick off a new series I've been wanting to do for a while. For those who don't know, the Professor Layton series is my favorite video game series, and it's been close to my heart since I was a kid. About a year ago, I finished my playthrough of all the games I could get my hands on as a US citizen that works a minimum wage job, and that is 9 games. There are 9 games accessible to me, the total of 9 games. And now I'm excited to finally accomplish a goal of mine, which is to play through the entire series from front to back in chronological order. Very exciting stuff over here. Here I will document my playthrough and give you my personal, official review of all the games. Like and subscribe and hit the bell or whatever if you're interested in hearing me info dump on an obscure video game series that I love. Or don't, I don't really care, because this is a passion project for me. Before we take it away with the first review of this series, there are a few things you should know about how these videos are going to work. First off, I'm starting with the spin-offs, and for an important reason. I know I just said I'm doing this playthrough chronologically, but I played all 3 spin-offs back to back first. By the time I finish the other 6 games, I probably won't want or need to play the other 3 spin-offs again. Plus, only one of them has a canon place in the lore chronologically. So I'm reviewing them now while they're still fresh in my memory, and everyone else can just suck it up. I will be reviewing the spin-offs in release order. Secondly, this series will have spoilers. Sorry if you were trying to avoid spoilers for a 15-year-old game series. Finally, I will rank each game on a specific grading scale relating to all the traits that I consider to be integral to a Professor Layton game. A couple of the spin-offs have exceptions to these categories, as you'll see, but for the most part I will be grading each game on 5 categories, which each are on a 5-star scale. Number 1 is plot and writing, number 2 is music, number 3 is puzzles, of course. Number 4 is minigames, and number 5 is overall. I think that's everything covered. If there's anything I missed or if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment and I will address them in the next video. Okay, finally, it's time. Let's start Reliving Layton. That's the name I gave this series. The first game I will be reviewing in the Professor Layton series is the Layton Brothers Mystery Room. This murder mystery solving mobile game came out in 2012 for iOS and Android, and it only costs $5 to play all 9 cases in the game. Let's kick it off with some plot and writing. Honestly, no notes. The writing is smooth, natural, compelling, and the characters are so vivid. The plot is contrastingly dark for a PLCU, that's Professor Layton Cinematic Universe, game. And it was so pleasantly surprising. They're not afraid to get a little vivid with the murder descriptions, and multiple characters in the game have dark motivations and evil secrets. The plot is perfectly paced and leaves you always wanting to hear what happens next. I have truly nothing to complain about when it comes to the writing of this game. For that, I'm giving the plot and writing 5 stars. I consider the original soundtrack of the original Professor Layton trilogy to be some of my favorite video game music of all time. So I mean it when I say the music in this game is so good, it goes right up there alongside the original OST in my eyes, or ears. However, it's almost like comparing apples and oranges because it is a completely different style of music than the original Professor Layton OST. As opposed to the original, accordion-heavy, calculatedly dissonant, rustic feel to the original Professor Layton OST, Layton Brothers has a much more chill, groovy, freeform jazz feel, reminiscent of a noir detective mystery film with a modern twist. Multiple tracks from the OST sound like completely unmetered freeform jazz, which is very cool. The tracks are so catchy. I would give anything for them to be streaming on Spotify. Please! There's one track in particular when old Alfendi Layton comes out that is this unmetered piece of a saxophone just wailing, and it's very chilling and haunting to listen to. It seriously creeped me out whenever I heard it play in the game. I was surprised to see the composers for the Layton brothers is different than the composer of the main series, Tomohito Nishiura. Hats off to the composers of this game because it is amazing. Easiest 5 stars I've ever given. Also, I realized I never credited those musicians. Let me see who composed for the Layton brothers. Yuzo Koshiro and Takeshi Yanagawa. Thank you, you cooked. You cooked on this game. As I mentioned before, Layton Brothers is a spin-off that doesn't match the typical Professor Layton formula, so it has no traditional puzzles or minigames. That leaves me with the final category, overall score. I cannot recommend this game enough. Going in, I knew nothing about this game, but it is all the best parts of Professor Layton, except it's completely turned on its head. What is a cozy, lighthearted, and whimsical feel in classic Professor Layton becomes the dark, twisted, and realist underbelly of detective work in Layton Brothers. The charming, warm sound of Professor Layton OST is converted to jazzy, freeform, and sometimes chilling music in the Layton Brothers. Plus, the gameplay itself is entirely unique within the main Professor Layton series. There's no puzzles and no minigames, just 9 murder mysteries where you investigate parts of a crime scene and put the pieces together to find the culprit. It's reminiscent of an Ace Attorney game, but it's still quite different. The character art is so beautiful, and the layout of the game itself is so charming and really reminiscent of 20 teens mobile games. The crime scenes are rendered in this charming 3D modeled digital landscape. The whole game is almost like a time capsule. It's a quick and fun play, and it only costs $5. I'd recommend this game to literally anyone, not just Professor Layton fans. You don't need any context or knowledge of Professor Layton to play this game whatsoever. Check it out! That wraps it up for my first Professor Layton review. In my next video, I'll talk about Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, and hopefully not talk your ear off as much at the beginning. See ya later!